The idiom literally translates to a pillar in the middle of a current. It originates from a real mountain, which stands firm amid the powerful waters of the Yellow River. This rock stood unshaken against the current, splitting the river's flow and symbolizing steadfastness in chaos. The idiom was later metaphorically used to describe a person who stands firm under pressure, especially in times of crisis. A zhōng is someone with unshakable resolve, moral courage, and the strength to support and guide others when everything else is unstable. This person is not easily swayed by adversity and acts as a stabilizing force in turbulent times. This concept is closely connected to integrity, responsibility, and leadership. It values inner strength over brute force and principle over pride. Pillar in the tide. He stood on the riverbank before dawn, the fog curling around his ankles like restless spirits. The swollen current roared beneath the old stone bridge, each wave striking the pillars with insistent force. To everyone watching, farmhands, fishermen, and merchants caravanning goods, the river was a threat as much as a resource. It demanded respect and sometimes souls. Julian tightened the straps of his worn satchel, feeling the leather bite into his shoulder. Inside rested the ledgers of the small trading company he'd inherited after his mentor's illness. The venture was barely solvent, plagued by late shipments, unpredictable markets, and rivals eager to swallow it whole. And yet, here he was, drawn to this turbulent stretch of water for reasons he could scarcely explain. He stepped onto the bridge, the timbers creaking under each footfall. The drowning light painted the river in shifting hues of amber and slate. Just downstream, a massive boulder rose from the depths. Half in water, half out. A silent monolith bearing the scars of centuries. Locals called it the Guardian, for it split the river's fury, carving twin channels that, in calmer seasons, made safe passage for boats. Almost no one thought about the rock until the floods arrived. Then they thanked it for preventing the entire bridge from being carried away. Julian paused at the railing, fingers tracing the grain of wood smoothed by generations of travelers. He closed his eyes and inhaled the damp air, tasting something primal and ancient. It struck him then that the Guardian was not merely stone, it was a testament, a reminder that endurance could shape destiny as effectively as force. Behind him, the trading company's future weighed heavy. Creditors hounded him. Employees whispered doubts. If he failed, families would lose wages. Entire supply routes, so many livelihoods, would unravel. Yet just as the river bent around the boulder, so too could Julian guide his enterprise through obstacles. He needed not to overpower the torrent, but to become its steadfast counterpoint. As the sun peaked above rolling hills, he opened his satchel and withdrew worn notebooks filled with ledgers, market analyses, and scribbled ambitions. Drawing a deep breath, he laid them on the railing and began to write anew, a plan for diversifying routes, forging partnerships with distant merchants, investing in local artisans whose craftsmanship could bring premium returns. His pen moved with calm determination, each stroke mirroring the rock's immovable stance. Hours passed. A fisherman, old as the river itself, hobbled near and watched Julian scribble. Finally, he grunted, "You think that paper holds more power than the current?" Julian smiled without looking up. "It holds direction." The man nodded slowly. "Aye, you're building your own pillar then. Just remember, it's not enough to stand. You must endure." He shuffled away, leaving Julian to his work. By midday, the plan took shape, a shipping lane avoiding the worst rapids. Community workshops to craft durable goods. A modest reserve fund to weather market storms. Julian folded the papers and slid them back into the satchel, feeling a quiet certainty settle in his chest. He had become the living counterpart to that silent boulder. Small perhaps, but unbowed. Returning to the heart of town, Julian summoned his team, laid out the vision, and saw in their eyes the spark of revived hope. Challenges remained. Storms would come, debts would loom, the river would rage again. But now there was a promise stronger than fear, that one resolute spirit, like the pillar in midstream, could hold the current at bay and reshape its course. And so, under the watchful dawn sky, Julian became not just a businessman, but the unwavering pivot upon which fortunes turned. And a reminder that true strength lies in standing firm, even when the world surges around you.